the next speaker, Tanja Lažetić, because she will present her project, her art project that was entitled Migrants, and she did it in 2015, and it actually exposed different kind of fruits and vegetables and the countries where are they coming from. So before giving the word to Tanja, I would just briefly say that she also actually studied architecture. So it's kind of interesting that our speakers are quite a lot from the field of architecture, even though doing very different things. And she's a conceptual artist. She has been exhibiting all over Slovenian art institutions such as museums and galleries and different kind of organizations, as well as throughout the world. She has been also within a couple of residencies from Berlin to Shanghai to Vienna and Lithuania and a few others. And she, as a part of her practice, she's often using different kind of medias, from photography to performance and video. But particularly what is interesting also in the retrospective, in connection with this project she will present, it's also important to mention that she's very interested in making artist books. So Tanja, please.
As I said, and I show you this image because I like to, I want to show the size of the installation of this image. So that's why these two images. So this was in Gallery P74 in Ljubljana, in Slovenia, in Šentvid. This gallery doesn't exist in this space anymore. They moved away. And so it was here, 400 images in one room. But before you have to come into this room, you have to enter, first you have to go downstairs, and then you enter a room, and in this room you can see two videos. But maybe we go back, because I'd like to read you something. It was written, it was what I wrote before for a presentation, this work, but I think it's good to just to get through this again, because, so it's like this. The whole world can be found in our store. This is clearer to us now than it was 10 years ago when I worked on the Migrants project. I photograph food that come from distant countries, and I was surprised that not only exotic fruit, and fresh vegetable in the middle of the cold winter that definitely had to grow somewhere else, but also most of the food that could be grown somewhere close by. It's produced in countries with cheap labor. And like all migrants, this food enter our lives quietly. They are all around us, and although we do not want to admit it, we cannot imagine our lives without them. And if I say this more practically, I can say it's pretty simple. On our dining tables, we bring the world together every day. So here we're back to the gallery in 2010. And before you come to see these 400 images, so you have to enter this room. And in this room, there are two videos. It was video installation. On the one video, you can see these people, you can see this video, and you can see, I show you the video because they're very short. And on the other video, you can see these people. So here you have sailmen, and here are tourists. And yeah, I show you the video, and because I don't have video of the exhibition, but I think it was interesting because when you enter the room, you can see the sound, you can hear the sound, and the sound was the noise from the street. And this noise, So you somehow enter this, and then you have to go in the middle, that on the other, no, on the both sides, you can see this video. So this is video. I don't know if you can hear it. Yeah, okay. Can you see it? Yeah, Irina? Yeah, okay. So this we have these people who are leaving the square. It's end of the day, it's Florence. People are going. And then after a few seconds, the video turned back. So it's like we are going back. It's silent right now. And this silence is because, why I returned this video. It was the reason was that I want us to ask, what's going on? Who are these people? Where are going? So you need silence to ask yourself. You need time to understand that something special is going on here. So this is one video, and because, and it's going in loop. It's repeated for hours, yeah, and it's very short. So it's going further and back, yeah. And on the other side, we have these people. They're tourists. They're going somewhere. And there is one bus. Yeah, I'm waiting for a family. Yeah, I'm waiting for this family. And then there's a bus, and you can see myself in the mirror in the bus. And then it's going in return, like the other video. And because the videos are not length similarly, the sounds is going, it was in the room, it's mixed, very mixed. Sometimes it was silent, sometimes they mixed both sounds. So it was quite noisy, you can say, and very dynamic in a certain way. So here is the same video in Kibla. I choose these images because we are part of Kibla project. So it was, I haven't seen this exhibition here because I was on one residency. I have only these images. So there are two televisions, and I don't know how was the big noise, but probably it was something that you can hear there. And here are some politicians and curator, Žiga Dobnika. He explained to some politicians, we don't remember them anymore, these videos, this work. And here I have a very short explanation of these videos by a curator, and I'd like to read it to you. The video installation, Migrants, created in Florence, juxtaposed two distantly contrasting groups of modern-day migrants. Hordes of tourists dragging suitcases down the Florentine streets, and a file of sailmen dragging their carts from the square. It's a confrontation of the people that choose to visit a certain city, or contrary for people light-hearted reason, tourists, and the people that choose to move permanently in search of a better chance of survival. So this is from Alexandra Kostic and Žiga Dobnika. I like this, the last part of this sentence, and it's very important for me. It's mean the people move permanently in search of a better chance of survival. They're migrants, yeah? So let's go back to migrants. And here we have the same, these 400 images, and I show you from different angles, like this, and we come closer, and we come close. So what we can see here are the that all these white images, they have written what it is from where it is. So it's maybe you can see it's written sardine from Croatia, and then hajiki, Japan, and I have rice from somewhere, but I don't remember right now from where it was rice. But I choose only food that you cannot buy. The food that's not produced in EU, and I can buy in my store. Yeah. So we have this image, and from the other, maybe it's a rice. Now I'm looking for a rice. No, I can't see. So on the one side, it's a like identity card. We have this product, right? Like here, grapefruit, and it's written from where it is. So from South Africa. On the other side, it's this black image, and it's not it's negative. It's just I just press the button in a Photoshop in verse and make this image. And this negative, this black image, tell us something we don't understand. And what we don't understand why, or we understand that if you buy a grapefruit, that it has to be produced somewhere far, not in EU, because the climate there is not so mild. You cannot produce it here, or ginger. But I think something's really, really wrong. That apple from Chile, it's much cheaper. And the problem with this food is that's usually very cheap. That apple from Chile is cheaper than apple from Slovenia. And that's why I use this negative, this black image. I want to show that something is terribly wrong with this cheap food. And we don't know who produced this food and what is behind. Yeah, usually we don't know. But we have to be more aware about this. So here we have lime from Brazil and nashi from China. Resin from Chile. You can produce resin from in Slovenia too, but okay. And here I choose these images because I'd like to show you how I show the same work in different space. It was part of one festival in Ljubljana, and it's a mostly theater festival, but they also they show some visual art, and yeah, it's here. I'm not happy with this presentation, but it's a possible way to show it. So that's why I choose to because the place was the space is so strong with these machines, so you can't see these migrants, these black and white images. They just disappear somehow, which maybe it's good because they're migrants. They disappear. We don't see them anymore. They're just like all the time with us. And here are tomato from Morocco, and it's another image. It was I applied for open call for one exhibition festival, Festival der Regionen in Austria, and it's there here. So I make a research. What kind of from where is the food you can buy in Austria, in this small city, yeah, Ifferding in Austria. So it was I used some images from Slovenia because we have same shops, Hofer, same Spar, same stores, but there are also some differences, like this tomato from Morocco you can buy in Slovenia right then when I was making research about this. And these are Irena and me in K18, a tiny exhibition project room or exhibition space. And we choose with Irena just to show only one small part of the work. It's only 16 images. It was more like example. We can talk about the work. It's not really that you can see, but it's a conversation. We had a conversation about this. And here is a book. The book I published later, and what is special with this book was that it was no text. It was only the title and the name. And it's print on demand. It's open edition. It means that I can print whatever I like, whatever I want. And I cut the cover. That's the special with this book, and with small scissors, so you can see the cuts. And why I did it, it's because if you have a cover, it means that the something inside is covered. Yeah, it's safe because it's inside. And when I cut away this cover, it became more fragile. And I think the whole topic about migrants, it's very, very fragile. So it's with this gesture, I try to show something about the problem with migrants and migration. So here you can see better the cuts, and you can see these cuts, yeah. And here is every book is just the name, yeah, and my signature. And then inside there, it's like a catalog. It's you can see the name, all 400 images there in the book, like this. And the reason why this at the back is because it was written something stupid, and I just make this scratch. Here is something. It's just because it's a recent work. I just I'd like to show you in which direction I goes with this research about food. It's not about food, but we all love flowers, I think, and because migrants' food was from 2010. And then I realized a few years ago that the very similar problem with this food, with problem with cheap labor who produce our food, is very similar happened with flowers. And I decided to make a photo of flowers. And I wanted at the beginning to make them black and white, of course, like migrants, but you can't do this with flowers. They're so special. They're, yeah. And then I decide to make my own colors, that I can color these flowers whatever I like. And here you can see these three images, and it's one flower and in 3 colors. So I'd like to show at the beginning of the middle of the exhibition, and it was, I want to say, it's me who can color, who can make a flower, who can make this, nature, no, flower. I can make a flower. I can choose the color, and this color is a bit weird. It's strange, but I think that it's very similar to our. It's very similar our attitude to the nature. It's quite similar. We want to make our nature to be. We make the nature good for us. Yeah, if I say very simple. So here are these flowers, but let's go back to the food. I just wanted to show you one of the directions. Yeah, because to say with these flowers, the problem with flowers is because it's very similar like food. They use cheap labor. They use most of the flowers we know that we can buy in Europe during the winter. You cannot produce these flowers here, but they're very cheap. So it's something is, again, it's something very wrong. And what is very interesting with flowers, it's they don't smell. They don't smell because they're produced just to be nice, just to be beautiful. You can compare something with food. Maybe it's a more radical, yeah, but it's something similar happened with food, I think, especially if we talk about apples and food that you can produce here. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much. If anyone has any question, very welcome. But I think I explained everything. So if anyone don't have any question,
yes,
I understand.
Thank you very much, Tanja, for your talk. maybe you can now unshare the screen.
Sorry?
Or maybe not. Okay. I just would like to we have a comment from Iris Kos-Grabar. I don't know if you want to share it. I can also read it. So she said, combining migrants and food exposes how the nature of art actually evolves from the postmodern era, as food was a strictly scrutinized political mean to achieve a social political change. Brackets, forced migrants have goals, but seems as art at present avoids or wastes such opportunity. Art is not to explain socially, but exposes instead. Now, do you have any comments on this?
No, it's nice.
So, okay. I would actually like to ask you, Tanja, how did you, when you started to do this project, so like how did you do the whole research? Because you basically what you did, you kind of created the whole archive of 400 different kind of food sources. I mean, food sources. It's like food items, and it's really like how did you like accept from criteria that the items are from all over the world except from European Union? Like what were the places that you actually went into? Like was it your surrounding shops that you visit every day, or you kind of did, I don't know, visited like maybe as Vidha also mentioned, like for example, there are certain shops, for example, there is like Chinese shop, or, you know, the shops that are actually there because there is certain community and they would be interested in this kind of food. So in that sense, I'm wondering, like, were you only going into the very like general shop, or you were also like going into like to look into, I don't know, Chinese shop or maybe Asian shop and so on?
The problem with this, it was that it was not very clearly, it was not written very good. So sometimes you can buy a product, you know the ginger cannot be produced here, but you can't find from where it is. So maybe in 10 years, it's a bit better right now than 10 years ago, but still, I was looking for whatever information I could find, yeah. But it was, for me, it was so important to be in Ljubljana. So it was my local store, yeah. Because to make a research, you need some how to say, border, yeah, some frame to make this. So it was what in local store from where is the food I eat? So this was my question. Yeah. So and to find all this information was a bit tricky. So I was in all different kinds of stores. Sometimes I buy this. Usually I buy. Yeah, but it's also happened that just I saw something that's, yeah, that one banana is also from somewhere else. I said, oh yeah, banana could be also from, I don't know, Ecuador. And then I include, I make different kind of photos. I don't have one banana. It was not like this. If I find that banana could be from 5 different countries, I use all, yeah. And if banana is more red and it's from Ecuador, yeah, I choose, I take a picture of this, because it was not only to have an information from where is the food, but also to make a picture. And if you buy something, you have to, I don't want to have food waste. So so I have to be careful how many bananas to buy. And then I was picking one from Ecuador or one from there. So it was a kind of research, but yeah, you can do it. I tried to do it similar with flowers, and I found I trace it somehow, but it then at a certain moment is what's impossible. But most of the flowers we have here is from Kenya, but also from Mexico, in Europe, and China. Now it changed. It completely changed with all this situation with COVID. It's changed. We have more local.
No more flowers.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there are no, yeah, it's actually, I think the stories, what happened with these flowers right now, this is sad. Yeah, a lot of people stay without job. It's very, very sad. They have to destroy all these flowers.
But this is actually quite interesting also, like where the food is coming from, because basically, especially now when we are talking about the carbon footprint, basically you should not really buy so much bananas because of the carbon footprint for bananas is actually really huge, as well as for avocados, especially if you are like based in Europe, and that this is really crazy in a way, and especially because they are all the time available. But also, like when it comes to COVID, like one little digression is like they actually moved pandas from zoo back to China because they could not bring food for them. So they kind of they did the, you know, in order for them to kind of survive, it was easier for them to put them where they can actually get the food locally rather than to see what's going to happen within these pandemic issues within few months. So
I was in Germany in March, and I went back to Ljubljana from Germany at the end of March, and it was really funny because it was not allowed to travel, so it was very special travel, and I was. We were in a bus, so it was complicated. But what was very interesting on the road, on the street, on the road, on the highway, there are no cars, no buses at all. But yeah, you can see some cars, but there are a lot of trucks. So all food, all dressing, all this stuff is still traveling. We only people, we are staying at home, but bananas and all this, and actually if you think, they're all the time, they're in the store. You couldn't see your neighbor, but you can buy a banana all the time. So it's also very interesting. Yeah, but thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Tanja. Yeah, I don't know if anybody else has a comment or a question for Tanja. Yes, Vidha?
I just wanted to ask, what were these photographs printed on? Or how did you make the prints? What you displayed?
Archive print on archive paper with archive colors,
Sure.
inject print. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, so before inviting everybody to go for a break, I will just read another comment from Iris Kos-Grabar. She said that her comment is based upon her life experiences because in 1984 in Groningen, she started a Happy Pancake events, workshops in her anarchy art political circuit, and it was very cohesive. They gained the attention of the city mayor, and they ended in Wondersrecht, the Air NATO nuclear MX base. Wow, okay. They ended it there. So they really did this like as if I interpret rightly, as an activist action, Happy Pancake events. Okay, so thank you everybody for being with us.